Hello and welcome to Kerry's Cards. I thought I'd pop along for this video and I'm going to show you how to make this 3D pop-up card with the rainbow on it, or in this case a green, could be a hedge I suppose, but it doesn't have to be a rainbow, using some Cajun Craze card, some dies from the Sunshine Vibe dies. If I get these out you can see through Stampin Up. We're actually just going to use this one, or these two here. I'll come back to those later. And we're going to use the Boho Vibes 6x6 patterned paper. Lots of different colours on there. And we've got some Cajun Craze, Cloud, Clover, Daffodil Delight, Mossy Meadow, Pink Petal and Secret Sea. So we're going to build this card here. And some white card. So I'm going to use the Cajun Craze and some white card to make this little card for you, or tutorial on how to make the card. So let's get crafting. Let's put these to one side. First, let's keep that one up there so you have an idea of what we're going to be making. If I get my Cajun Craze first and get my template ready so I know what I'm doing. We are going to use our trimmer or scoreboard, or I like to use my trimmer for my scoring as well. The base bit of cards that you want is going to be 11.5 inches by, oh, I can't remember now what I did on my template. Let's just get my ruler. It's 5 3/4, yeah, 5 3/4. So 5 3/4. Side, turn it round. I'm just going to take a little bit off the edge to make it 11.5. Teeny weeny bit there. Then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, on the long side, I'm going to do a number of score lines. The first one is at 3.5 inches. So make sure you get your blade out the way. 3.5 inches, then 4.5 inches. Then 5.5 inches, then we go all the way to 9 inches, 10 inches, and 11 inches. Then we're going to turn our card round so we have our short edge at the top, but I actually want the thinnest part that we've just done at the very bottom. So we're going to turn the card round and then we're going to score at 2 inches first, all the way across, and then 3.5 inches. And I'm only going to score on this first bit here at 3.5 inches. So I've cut that bit there because this is going to make my tab layer at the front that's here. You can see. Then the rest we're going to cut away. So that's all the scoring we're going to do there. Getting my big scissors, because I'm going to do some long cuts here. I'm going to cut down with the 1/2 inch at the end on the left hand side. I'm going to cut down here and here. And here. You could put this in your trimmer if you wanted to and cut down to the score line, the 2-inch score line. And then this one here, I'm just going to make a little cut all the way across there. Get rid of that one. And I'm going to cut this one here. And keep these pieces because these are great for making some more of the little rainbows that we've been using. Now this one's going to be a bit tricky to cut, so actually what I'm going to do is pop this one back in the trimmer. And let's put it back that way so we've got a big end there. And I'm going to measure it at 2 inches, lift up my cutter and then go to the score lines and hopefully it should just come out. There we go. So our template then looks like this. This is our template for the card itself. was a bit messy there, so I'm just going to get my little snips and tidy up where I didn't actually go all the way down to the line. There we go. And that one there. Okay. So then what we do here is we fold in, because this is going to make our tab. Do a valley fold, mountain fold, mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold. So that eventually, when that's all concertinaed in on top of itself, and then this flap here comes down on top of itself. So that is really how simple and straightforward this simple card is that we're going to make. I'm going to put some glue, if I lay it down flat here. I'm going to put some glue on here. Now you can cover it before you put it together, and a lot of the times people do that. I actually prefer to put the paper on once it's together, so I know that I'm doing the right thing. So I've put some glue on as I folded all the bits in and concertinaed that bit in. I'm then doing the same on this side, and when I fold it down like that, it should be a nice neat finish on the edge there. Just hold that in place. And there we have our lovely beginning parts of our pop-up box. But what we need to do next is decorate it. So we need some nice pretty papers. I like the fact this bit here because it looks like raindrops. So I'll use those pieces of that piece of paper again if I can find them. Might be the other side. Let's see. So we could just do rain. Should we do on that one instead, or should we do the colourful one? Oh. Maybe it isn't. There we are. It's that side. Let's do that way again. There we are. So what we need is a strip of paper for the back piece here. This one is going to measure 3 1/4 down. So I'm going to do 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. Let's pop that one in now while we've got them all out. I'm going to slide that one in there so it hides the score line that we've got. That's the back one done. I'm going to put the same piece going here, but I haven't got enough wide enough anymore for that way to be the same, but I'm going to pop it that way because I don't think it really matters. So it's going to be 3 3/4 by 1 3/4. Let's just check. Oh no, too big. Yeah, so it's 3 1/4, sorry, not 3 3/4. There we go. I'm just going to pop that one on there like so. And then the front one we've got here, we can use another piece of card or another patterned piece of paper. We'll use the dark blue there, stripes. I might do the, let's do that one, shall we? So this one is 3 1/4 by 1 1/4 this time round. Oh, actually that's quite symmetrical, but no, we'll use this side instead. There we are, so it's like a bit of night sky. Hold them in, so that's our pop-up element done. Very straightforward, quick and easy. Then what we need is some green mossy meadow card. Now if I get the dies out from here, these are the dies we're going to use. Now I've actually only used 1 cut, but I've got 2 lots of the rainbow effect there. So I'm using the in bits there on the front, and then the leftover bits went on the back. Can you see how it's joined on the back there, the bottom? So if let's just cut this out first and make sure we've got a big enough piece. So where did I put my ruler? So that is, so I'm going to cut a strip of 4 inches wide. And then get my mini cutter out. Excuse the state of my plates. They're all a bit sad and tired. But well used, I think, is the best way to describe it. So I've cut this at 4 inches by 3 inches. So make sure it fits into the mini die cut machine. And then I want to make sure that it's as level as possible around, and just to secure it in place, I've got some masking tape that I would put on top to stop it moving. And then I'm going to roll that through, she says. There we go. Ooh. The whole place is falling apart. Good. Lost an ink thing then. Right, so take that out, pop that away. Although we might need it again in a minute. Then when we take these off, we have a rainbow. If you wanted to choose that, so you've actually got 3 different things you can use when you do use these boho rainbows. Oh, let's get rid of that one. And then typically there's one rainbow. Then let's get our pokey tool. I just dropped out the back. Use that. And I should now all come out. The other way I do it is throw it on the table, which seems a bit aggressive, but it does work each time. Let's put those away. We'll need those in a bit. Put them in there. So now we have our rainbow. So how are we going to put this together then? So there's a couple of ways of doing it. I like to start from the outside in. So I'll get my rainbow ready. And then when it's on the table like that, I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the bottom of each rainbow. You could use a little bit double-sided if you wanted, but I take the largest one first because then I'll build it on the outside in. And when I say take the largest one, I'm going to pick that one up. You see I've put a little bit of, where are we there? A little bit of glue on each end. And now as I take this and hold it, it's just the right size for the rainbow. So I'm just going to hold it in place with my fingers and hold it in place for a couple of seconds for the glue to adhere. Then once that one's in, doesn't take long, we can then go back and get the next one and do the same. Because we've already got this one in now, it's easier to know where the next one goes. Whereas if you start from the small one out, then as long as you've got the centre of the box, then you're fine. If you see here, there we go. So if you look inside a little bit, can you see where it's just touching? So it's like 1/2 centimetre in. Let's get the next one. Do the same again. Hold it in place. I've used my fingers behind to hold it in place. Then get the next one, do the same again. Use your fingers to hold it in place. When you're ready. And then we'll get the last one as well and pop that one in. There we go. So that's our first rainbow in. Now the next one at the back is this one, is just slightly too wide for the box. So if I turn it over that way, you'll see what I mean. So it's just slightly too wide. So what I've done is quite literally just taken a pair of snips and cut a little bit off each side. Now when we pop that in there, it should be just perfect to sit flush on the back of the card. So here now, I'll just put a little bit of glue on some of the edges to hold it in place. I'm just going very lightly round. Don't need a lot, because otherwise it's all going to ooze out on the sides, which you don't want to happen. And there we go. A little bit on the bottom. So very little amount of glue there. And then we're going to hold it and place it as close behind the other rainbow as possible, and it's level with the next, so the back there. So I've leveled it up. And then press it down. So there we have our double rainbow card. So what are we missing still? We're still missing some nice white. I wanted to lift it a little bit because I thought it was quite dark. So I've used the leaves in this and used just some plain white card. Now I have lots of little offcuts of white from when I do my base or the insides of my cards. All my layers, I always have layers. I have a pile of them on my desk for when I've done a card, so I've got something ready for the inside. But I always have all these offcuts. So I have, when I say I have lots and lots of offcuts, I keep them all like that because they're perfect sizes for doing any greetings and things. So let's get this and pop these through. One, two, make my E, put this on first. And we also want some little hearts, so we'll do this all at the same time because I think there's enough space for them all to go on. Let's get this one off, stick that on there, let's pop those there. Remember what I said about using our offcuts, so I'm going to use the hearts. Let's put that on there. There's a little heart dies to go there. What else do we need? Another piece of white to make our thanks so much. Now that one I used, oh my gosh, what's it called? That one I used the perennial postage. I can't remember which one it was. There we are, one of the dies, so it's that one. So I'll get some white card scrap from in here as well and pop that on. And then get the top. Make sure I've got my E shape. And then feed it through. Here. Oh, that one didn't go through properly. Oopsies. There's one heart, one bit of green, one leaf. Put them back in there. That one in there. One over there as well. This one hasn't cut properly, but I'm just going to finish it rather than running it through again. There we go. I could have run it through again, really, but don't really need to. There we go. Rid of that one. So on the front now, I just added the white leaves just to lighten up the rainbow a little bit because the green is quite dark. And again, teeny weeny bit of glue. Same for this one, teeny bits of glue on the side. And then I could put a heart there because I've got quite a big gap this time. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put a little one. Now, if you haven't got one of these, this is really good. It's a little bit tacky, so it makes it easier to pick up, especially if you've got big fat fingers like I have. It's a bit much easier. And then we will stamp our image. Now, this one I got, came from one of the kits that we have, which I absolutely love the wording in it, so I know I'll probably be using it a lot more. Just going to get that out of the box. Here we go. I've kept this now because I really like the image and I like all the font that they have. And this one fits perfectly on this size perennial thing, perennial postage. And here I've got the little stamp pad that came with the set, which I've kept. There we are. Let's get some foam pads out. That's the messiest my desk has been for a long time. Foam pads on the back there. Pop that there. Get rid of those. What else could we do with? I know what else we put on. We put on some little blingy bits as well. Let's get some more of these blingy bits. I've got some little blue ones. And again, let's put one there, shall we? I think this is easier if I turn it that way. There we go. There is that card finished. Oh, I know what we haven't done. We haven't put anything on the back yet, have we? So let's get our layer on the back. A nice piece of white. Get my white card ready and my trimmer. Then we need the same size piece as we had for the pretty at the back there. So it's 3 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch by 5 1/2. Out the way, let's put some glue across the back. And because we've put that on the back, it'll hide the school line that goes right across the middle. There we go. And then what you can do, if you want to, you can pop a nice piece across the back that fits the size at the front. It's just an offcut that I've got from before. There we go. So there we have our two. That's so quick and simple to make, isn't it? That's a 3D pop-up cards. There you are. I look forward to seeing what you create. You could do all sorts of different things. You could put some tools on there if you wanted, not the rainbows, all sorts of different ideas. Well, happy crafting. Bye.